right, let's get into it. Did you know Paul Thomas Anderson is reportedly the only director to snag Cannes Best Director, Venice's Silver Lion, and both the Silver and Golden Bears at Berlin? That's not just a flex, that's a whole gym membership.
Hey everyone, it's Emma, and I am feeling super intrigued today, like brain on fire intrigued. We're talking power, art, and the messiness of ambition. Total vibe. So, picture this. Studio City in the 70s, a kid named Paul Thomas Anderson, or PTA, growing up in the San Fernando Valley in a Catholic household with a dad and TD and a camera obsession brewing. He grows into the filmmaker behind Boogie Nights, There Will Be Blood, and The Master. His signature is desperate characters, tangled families, and long takes that glide like a dance. Big feelings, bigger questions, zero hand-holding. I have to tell you about this. When I first learned he went to New York University, like the famous film school, and left after 2 days. 2 days! I had a minor meltdown in the best way, because I was sitting in a perfectly respectable corporate job, nice benefits, terrible soul rat. You know the type. Everyone around me was like, stay safe, climb the ladder, don't be dramatic. But hearing PTA bail on the traditional path and jump into sets as a production assistant unlocked something for me. I put in my notice. I had savings for, 3 months if I ate noodles and vibes. A scrappy podcast network offered me 1 segment a week at basically bus fare. I said yes, heart in my throat. The stakes were high. My mom, bless her, thought I'd lost it. My group chat staged an intervention, complete with spreadsheets. But I doubled down on the thing I loved, talking to people, connecting culture dots, spilling the tea. And it clicked. First it was late nights, then guest spots, then this show. Was it terrifying? Absolutely. Did it pay off? Honey, we're here. So yes, the lesson, sometimes you skip the syllabus and start the work. Not for everyone, but if it's your calling, it's your calling. Okay, let's move on. Who is PTA, like ELI5? He's a director who builds emotional theme parks. You go in for a story about, say, an oil prospector or a porn set, and you leave with a thesis on loneliness, power, and the price of wanting. His camera rarely sits still. The long takes make scenes feel lived in. No quick-cut sugar rush. It's like he hands the actors the room and then dares you to breathe with them. He grew up with the DIY streak. In the early 80s, his dad bought him a Betamax camcorder, and he's playing with 8mm and 16mm film as a teen. He hates formal film school, says it felt like homework. So he does the unthinkable. He learns by doing. He self-finances a short, cigarettes and coffee, and treats it like college, that independent ethos you can feel forever after.
Let's jump to the next thing, the collaborators who make the magic. Robert Elswit, the cinematographer, is the eye behind those luscious images. Mark Bridges, the costume designer, makes characters wear their psychology. John Bryan, the composer and studio wizard, shapes early sound worlds. Johnny Greenwood, yes, the Radiohead guitarist turned composer, scores from There Will Be Blood onward with strings that feel like anxiety itself.
Actors: Philip Seymour Hoffman, the late powerhouse who could play neediness like a violin. Daniel Day-Lewis, the method legend who'll make you forget he's acting. John C. Reilly, the soulful everyman. Joaquin Phoenix, the chaos poet. These are not background players. They're gravitational fields. Together with PTA, they build worlds where even silence is loud. Now for the origin story drama, Hard 8 in the mid-90s. It gets finished, then re-edited by the distributor, Reicher. Big yikes. PTA is like, no. He has a work print of his cut and sneaks it into Cannes' uncertain regard. It plays. He then hustles together roughly $200,000 with help from himself and the cast, including Philip Baker Hall, John C. Reilly, and Gwyneth Paltrow, to release a version closer to his vision. That is receipts-level commitment. Then 1997 hits and Boogie Nights arrives, born from his 1988 mockumentary, The Dirk Diggler Story, which was inspired by adult film star John Holmes. It's set in the golden age of porn, but really it's about community and ambition. It revives Burt Reynolds, launches Mark Wahlberg and Julianne Moore into new territory, and gets PTA an Oscar nomination for screenplay. And yes, it's electric. After that, Magnolia lands at the end of the 90s, an ensemble heartbreak symphony in the Valley, inspired in part by the music of Amy Mann, who can turn a sigh into a novel. It's about coincidence, forgiveness, and the weather systems inside families. The Academy notices Tom Cruise gets a supporting nod. It's messy and human and very, very PTA. Punch-Drunk Love in the early 2000s is next. Adam Sandler, the blockbuster comedian, plays a fragile entrepreneur casting against type, and PTA wins Best Director at Cannes. Tell me why that isn't a slay. It's romantic, ginnery, and weirdly hopeful. There Will Be Blood shows up mid-2000. Loosely based on Upton Sinclair's Oil, it's a myth about capitalism, faith, and greed. Daniel Day-Lewis wins Best Actor. Robert Elswit wins Best Cinematography. The film cements PTA as not just Altman's heir in ensembles, but as a maker of American epics about power. It's not subtle, it's seismic. Okay, pause, because this next part is everything. The Master in 2012 follows an alcoholic World War II vet, played by Joaquin Phoenix, who's drawn into a movement led by a charismatic man, played by Philip Seymour Hoffman. People assume it's about Scientology, the controversial religion founded by L. Ron Hubbard. But the film never says that. Like ever. The connection is speculative. Here's my take. The Master is about control and identity, how broken people search for new skins to wear. It's about the hunger to belong when the world feels unlivable. If you watch it as a docudrama about one specific religion, it narrows. If you watch it as a study in need and power, it opens up. I'll die on that hill respectfully. And the acting, it's volcanic. He follows with Inherent Vice in 2014, adapting Thomas Pynchon, the ultra-private novelist famous for dense, trippy books. Pynchon almost never lets people adapt him. PTA gets the nod. That's a big vote of trust. It's stoner noir with a soft heart and immaculate vibes. Then the music lane. He directs for Fiona Apple, the singer-songwriter queen of Raw Nerve, for Haim, the sister trio who live in breezy bass lines, for Radiohead and The Smile, Tom York's projects that marry dread to beauty. He makes Junin, a documentary in India about Johnny Greenwood's collaborative album, and later Anima, a short music film with York that feels like a lucid dream you kind of want to stay trapped in.
Phantom Thread drops in 2017 with Daniel Day-Lewis, Leslie Manville, and Vicky Creeps in the couture world. Its control is courtship. Focus Features handles the US. Universal goes international. And yes, people say he shot it himself, but there's no official cinematography credit for him. The rumor mill is loud, the credits are quiet. Love that mystery for him.
Licorice Pizza in 2021 returns to the Valley, youthful, messy, adorable without being cutesy, and it earns Best Picture and Best Director nominations. And then, reportedly, he levels up again with one battle after another in the mid-2020s, becoming his highest-grossing film and nabbing major Oscars, including Best Director and Best Picture. That's not a career, that's a saga.
Let's dissect this for a sec. PTA's lasting relevance isn't just cinephile worship, it's social conversation. There Will Be Blood keeps popping up when we talk about capitalism and extraction. Magnolia taps the ache of chance and regret. The Master keeps the debate alive about how humans trade agency for comfort. Even his collaborations blur lines between high art and pop. It's the glow-up of serious cinema living writ-free in the group chat.
And on the personal side, he's with Maya Rudolph, the comedian and actress you know from SNL and A Million Perfect Sketches. 4 kids, quite power couple energy, zero messy headlines. The Ghoulardi Film Company, his banner, honors his dad, Ernie Anderson, the ABC announcer and Cleveland horror host Ghoulardi. It's family, it's roots, it's legacy, stitched into the business card. Before we go further, we need to address why this matters now. In an era of content overload, he makes work that resists speed. He's a reminder that audiences will meet you at your level if you set the bar with intention. And yes, the films can be polarizing. Some find them mid, others call them masterpieces. That friction is the oxygen of culture. Okay, we covered a lot. Next time, I'm diving into the world of another visionary director, different flavor, same heat. You're not ready.
So that's the tea, folks. Stay curious, follow the weird path if it's yours, and slay your day.